Education in the time of the pandemic has been hard on teachers and students. Schools across the country would try to reopen only to be forced to close again when COVID-19 cases spiked.
Our schools need to open safely and be able to remain open safely.
The American Rescue Plan sets aside about $130 billion to help K-12 schools reopen by funding improvements to ventilation systems and buying personal protective equipment.
There's a lot of resources and energy focused on making sure that we contain the pandemic and, importantly, that schools can open safely so that all of those parents can get back to work knowing that their children are learning what they need to learn in school.
While parents are eager to get children back to school, some teachers' unions have resisted a return to in-person classes for fear of new waves of COVID cases.
Teacher union interests that have resisted going back to school have really been putting their own material benefit ahead of the interests of their kids.
Teachers were forced to shift their lesson plans online abruptly when lockdowns were imposed last year. According to the Economic Policy Institute, a third of surveyed educators felt that the training they received for online learning was not useful.
We can understand and help our teachers use technology in more fulsome ways and more effective ways.
Access to devices and consistent internet also deepened long-standing racial and economic disparities in students.
When schools closed, and in New York City alone, 300,000 children lacked access to school devices.
Under the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, colleges and higher education institutions would get almost $40 billion toward financial aid grants for students.
We have just a wide variety from gigantic little cities and our flagship universities to, very customized learning at smaller liberal arts colleges or HBCUs or MSIs, et cetera. And so, yes, they're all under strain, they're all under financial challenge,